In 1983, he was a star, but by the end of 1984, he became a phenomenon. And it's all thanks to this film and its groundbreaking soundtrack. Now, can you guess which artist I am talking about? Hey guys, welcome to Mauricio's Crib. I'm very excited as this is my very first episode. And if this is your first time here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if this is your second time here, thanks for coming back. Now, before I get started, I'd just like to dedicate this episode to two of my closest, dearest, outrageous, funny, warm, dear friends of mine that I hold a special place in my heart for. Layla and Nikki, this is for you, and I hope you like it. Now, for everybody else, did you guys guess the artist that I was talking about? If you guys said Prince, you were right. In 1982, Prince released his fifth studio album, 1999. It was the first album that he recorded with his band, The Revolution, and it was also his first album to hit the top 10. It peaked at number 9. It's also the album that spawned the classics Little Red Corvette, Delirious, and of course the title track 1999, which I'm sure just about everybody on the planet at the end of 1998 would have played that song. The success of the album saw Prince tour the US extensively in early 1983. As a support act, Prince brought along The Time, which was led by Morris Day, his childhood friend, and also Vanity 6, who Prince was dating at the time. During the tour, Prince was seen and writing in a purple notebook. Now, some of the band members were curious, but others, they'd left him alone. Because Prince was always writing music, they just thought that's what he was up to. But it actually turns out that he was writing ideas for a movie. He approached his manager at the time, Bob Cavallo, and he said that he wants to do a movie, he wants to be the star of the movie, and he wants his name predominantly on the poster and for the film to be made and distributed by a major movie studio. Even though Cavallo said yes, he was apprehensive. Not because he didn't believe in Prince's talent, it's just because musicians weren't making gold at the box office with their movies. The list is endless. Anyway, he went to Warner Brothers, who represented Prince, and told him the idea. Warner Brothers gave him $7 million to go ahead and make the movie. With a budget in place, the band members had to take acting lessons. I mean, they're musicians, they're not actors. Maybe I could be an actor. I play music. Maybe I could do both. Anyway, the only true actors in the actual film were Prince's parents. Olga Calados, who was a famous Italian actress, and Clarence Williams III, who was famous for the 60s TV show The Mod Squad. Interestingly enough, Olga Calados, after she finished Purple Rain, not long after that, she decided to retire from acting. And guess what? She became a lawyer, and a successful one at that. The script was written by William Blinn, and he based the story on the discussions that he had with Prince, where he told him that his father would blame his family for his music career not taking off. Albert McDonald was hired to direct the film, but he found the script a little bit too dark, so he made some changes. He saw an opportunity to tell a story about love, relationships, family, and the rivalry with up-and-coming bands. But it doesn't mean that some of the scenes from the original script weren't shot. As a matter of fact, if you watch the trailer, some of those scenes appear in. The other thing that was changed was the title. Purple Rain originally was going to be called Dreams. Right before filming was meant to begin, Prince and Vanity broke up. At the 11th hour, the producers had to look for a female lead. They auditioned between 500 to 1,000 actresses. At one point, they even offered the role to Jennifer Beals, who would find fame and success that year with Flashdance. However, she turned them down because she was going to concentrate on her university studies. The role eventually went to Apollonia Cotero, who was a part-time actress and had done some TV work. Now, at the time, Apollonia was married, but the producers wanted to keep that hidden from the public, to make it look like that her and Prince were officially an item. Now, with everything in place, shooting began in the winter of 1983 in around Minneapolis, Prince's hometown. But there were also scenes shot in Los Angeles. For example, the Huntington Hotel where Apollonia stays in. In the film, it's depicted that it's right across First Avenue, the club where everyone wants to get in. However, that was actually based in downtown LA. Morris's apartment, that's actually in downtown LA. This particular scene as well, where Prince rides his motorcycle in front of First Avenue, that's actually a theater in Los Angeles. Prince had written 100 songs for the soundtrack, but did you know that there was 3 songs, 2 of them that we all know were not part of that 100? Now, can you guess which 3 songs I'm talking about? I only did that again because someone told me I was cute when I did that. Were you able to guess? Let's see. The first one was Take Me With You. That was actually written after it was filmed. Now, Prince saw the daily where he and Apollonia go to the waters of Lake Minnetonka, and he actually wrote the song after viewing that footage. Okay, let's see if you can guess the second song. The second song, believe it or not, was When Doves Cry. That was not part of the 100 songs that Prince had written. The song came about when Albert McDonald told Prince that he's doing a montage and he needs a song that's going to outline the theme of the movie. Prince said, okay, and they were his exact words. He went home that night, wrote When Doves Cry, called up Albert McDonald at 4 in the morning and said he has the song. Now, the interesting fact about When Doves Cry is that there is no bass line on that song. Prince did 2 versions. He did one with a bass and one without it. The one that we hear today is the one that he went for. Okay guys, were you able to guess the third song? Let's have a drum roll, huh? Okay, so the third song, believe it or not, was Purple Rain. Yes folks, Purple Rain was not part of the 100 songs that Prince had originally written for the soundtrack. As a matter of fact, Purple Rain was written in 1982 and it was actually a country song. Now, Prince gave this to Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac. He said, do what you want with it. But she felt intimidated because Prince was so prolific, she didn't want to mess it up, so she gave it back. It was only during filming one night that Prince decided to revisit the song. He got his bandmates together and he said, let's collaborate on this. So they all played an important part in the actual song. Everyone contributed one piece to it, and especially the iconic intro, which was done by guitarist Wendy Melvin. The film was set to open on July 27, 1984. The first single to be released from the soundtrack was When Doves Cry. It was actually released on May 16th, almost 2 months before the film opened. That doesn't happen nowadays at all. It gained momentum because it also gave Prince his first #1 single, and it spent an incredible 6 weeks at the top of the Billboard charts. Once the film was released, it went #1 around the world. Purple Mania had hit. Prince went from being a star to a mega superstar. At one point, he had the #1 album, the soundtrack, he had the #1 single, Let's Go Crazy, and the #1 movie all in one go. Not bad for a movie that costed only $7 million. Not only that, the album spent a whopping 24 weeks at #1. The song Purple Rain won an Oscar at the 1985 Academy Awards, and also Prince won 3 Grammys the same year. Purple Rain has been regarded by some publications and critics as one of the greatest musicals of all time. The album has sold 25 million copies and continues to sell to this day. Purple Rain has it all. It has drama, it has music, it has the fashion, and it has comedy thanks to Morris Day and Jerome Benton. Prince went on to have a continued successful career until his untimely death in 2016. Personally, for me as a fan, I remember Prince for everything, for every decade, every album, whatever it is. But for some people, it will always be Purple Rain. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. because Purple Rain stands out, even to this day. So there you have it, my very first talk on a movie from the 80s. Thank you for stopping by at Mauricio's crib. I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed putting all of this together. And come around next time for the next talk on an 80s movie. But until then, you be you and keep on living.